Yes, you wake up at 5 a.m. every day, skip meetings, and chat with strangers instead. You take ice baths and walk to work even though you have a car. Your friends may call you weird, but you just know how to live like the rich. Jeff Bezos, the wealthiest person on the planet, runs his business based on the 2 pizza rule. Every meeting Amazon schedules should have no more people than 2 pizzas can feed. Makes sense when you think about it. A meeting with too many people can't be as productive because a lot of great ideas can be missed in a big crowd. But entrepreneur Mark Cuban can't stand meetings. He thinks they're just a waste of time, since most of the people present end up talking about everything but business. Instead of meetings and conference calls, he prefers email. This is much faster, and you can always look through previous emails if you forget something. Mark Zuckerberg has an unusual way of interviewing potential employees. The Facebook founder meets with the candidates in the office and then takes them for a walk while discussing technology together. Seems a little bizarre, but it's probably better to get out in the fresh air than stay stuck in an office talking about where you see yourself in 5 years. Billionaires can delegate tasks to allocate their time and resources, but Larry Page wouldn't agree. The Google co-founder believes that if a person is good at something, they shouldn't pass this task over to someone else. Or maybe you need more practice with this kind of job. Then do it yourself. Page is sure it helps people improve their skills. Being rich, you can also eat the most delicious world delicacies, but not all successful people do it. They even limit their food intake. Steve Jobs ate only fruit and carrots for a long time because he was sure it was good for his health. Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter and Square, eats 7 meals a week. Yes, that's just 1 a day. He also takes ice baths and walks to work. He does all of that to improve his brain function and health. Food restriction helps him concentrate better at business, and a daily walk of several miles keeps him in shape. Also, he meditates 2 hours every day and does 7-minute body exercises instead of going to a gym. Truly successful people don't try to look rich. They don't even wear expensive designer labels like many people do. In fact, if someone's trying to look the part to impress others, they probably aren't even that rich. For example, Mark Zuckerberg wears very simple t-shirts and jeans every day. If you met him on the street, you wouldn't even think he's one of the wealthiest people on earth. This simple approach helps Zuckerberg stay focused on important things and not waste precious time on choosing what to wear. Steve Jobs was a fan of a simple outfit too. We all remember his black turtlenecks and plain old jeans. He also didn't want to waste his time choosing clothes. By the way, rich and successful people are quite confident, so they don't need to show off or prove something to others by wearing name-brand clothes. IKEA founder Ingvar Kamprad always lived modestly. Despite the billions he made, he always flew in economy class and stayed in budget hotels. Kamprad drove a 1993 Volvo for years. He thought spending money was a bad habit. We've all gotten the cliché advice to plan your day and make an agenda. Well, Elon Musk plans his work schedule in 5-minute blocks. Of course, it helps him keep track of important tasks, but it's also psychologically more effective. When you write all your goals for the whole day, week, month, or even year, it can easily get overwhelming and too vague. Short 5-minute blocks seem more realistic and achievable to the brain. When it comes to workspace, most of us are either a Martha Stewart or an Albert Einstein. Stewart made a rule for her office that every employee's desk must be immaculate at the end of each day, and no one is allowed to have any personal items like coffee mugs or photos. Einstein famously said, "If a cluttered desk is a sign of a cluttered mind, then what's an empty desk a sign of?" I'll let you decide that one. Hobbies are always recommended, and for famous banker David Rockefeller, it was insects. Over his life, he amassed a huge collection of over 150,000 beetles. He'd always carry a jar to put any unusual bugs he happened to come by in his travels. He met a lot of interesting people and felt better about life thanks to his favorite pastime. If a stranger in the street flashed you a smile and started talking to you, you might think it was weird or maybe even scary. But big-time investor Haley Diber smiles back and takes up conversation with strangers every day. It helps her stay positive and energetic. Diber says she often has stressful days and it's too easy to get lost in your own thoughts. But chatting with her Uber driver or someone in the elevator allows her to see her problems from a fresh angle. New York Times best-selling author Jonathan Franzen came up with his own unique way to focus on work. He works in a soundproof studio, pulls down the blinds on the windows, puts in earplugs, turns the light off, and puts on a blindfold. Once he's shut out all visual and auditory distractions, the ideas start flowing and he can write. Business tycoon Warren Buffett, who's worth $74 billion and holds the number 4 spot on the Forbes list, spends about 80% of his day reading books. He said reading helps him think clearly and stay focused. He made a lot of his incredibly successful financial decisions thanks to the books he's read. Richard Branson, billionaire and founder of the Virgin Group, starts his day at 5 a.m. He works out, meditates, and just gets his body and brain ready for the day ahead. Many successful people believe that the way you meet the morning is how you'll spend the whole day. By the way, Richard Branson's favorite sport is kite surfing. He loves it for the feeling of freedom, exhilaration, and oneness with nature. Oracle founder Larry Ellison spends his free time getting his adrenaline pumping. He rides mountain bikes, surfs, and loves extreme sports. Billionaires see a lot of interesting things in the world, so it's hard to surprise them. This is an excellent way to feel something new. Prolific Japanese inventor Yoshiro Nakamatsu, who's created more than 3,000 inventions, said that all great ideas come to his mind during extreme stress. So, he grabs a waterproof notebook and pen, his own creations of course, dives down to the bottom of his pool, sits there, and waits for a new idea to strike. He won't come up until he thinks of a great invention. He also believes that the coolest ideas come in a gold room without nails or iron objects, hence why he transformed his bathroom into the perfect thinking room. Yeah, I think the bathroom is a place where you could be flush with ideas.